In this video we're going to be making something similar to this pattern, and we're going to be using these beads, which are 4mm glass beads, 4 crimp beads, a clasp set which has jump rings and a lobster fastener, and tiger tail nylon coated wire. This is 0.38 and it's in an olive green. I have 90cm of wire, just over 100 beads, and then your crimp beads there. So to get started, what we're going to first do is thread on our clasp set. Let that drop down. Two crimp beads. The instruction leaflets for all this are available on our website if you prefer to follow diagrams. And what you need is one side needs to be 30cm long, the other side needs to be 60. So it's a 30cm ruler. I've got one side at 30 and then the other side will be 60. I've just pushed the crimp beads down to the bottom there, left a little bit of a loop, enough so you can swing about. I'm going to take our flat nose pliers, squash the first one, turn it over and just make sure I'm squashing the other side. So that's the first crimp bead in place, and then we'll get the second one in place now. Squashed one side. And squash the other. That's his crimp beads in place. So if we see, one side is longer than the other. Okay, on the left hand side, which is the longer side, you're going to thread 3 beads on. And then the right, which is the shorter one, one bead on there. And then this bead here, so we've got move the 2 on the right, on the left hand side down, move the 2 on the left hand side down, and the 1 on the right hand side down, and then this one here, this number 3. You're going to take your right hand thread and go back down. So you're going to crisscross. So the left hand thread is coming up through the bead, and we're going to go down. Okay. And then we're just going to pull. See how that goes. So we've got one coming out this way and the other one going that way, and pull that as tight as you can. so it sits. In a four like that. Now on your shorter side thread, you're going to put 2 beads on, and then on your longer side thread you're going to put 3 on. So we've got 2 beads on the shorter side and 3 beads on the longer side. I'm going to take the longer thread, I'm going to go back down through the second bead on the shorter side. Then pull both threads tight. You can see, one to the left, one to the right. So on your longer thread is where you've got 3 on, and then we've got 1 here, and then the both threads are crisscrossing through this bead here. Just pull that tight. So far we have made that top section there. Thread 3 beads on your longer side, then 2 on the shorter side, and we're going to crisscross back through this one with a longer thread. It's always 3 beads on your longer length. And then always 2 beads on your shorter length. And then crisscrossing through this last bead on your shorter length. And just keep repeating that until you have it about a centimetre away from your full length, because the last section is going to be something similar to this. One more full section, and 3 on left. And then for the final step, I've got 2 on the longer length, 1 on the shorter length, so that's 2 on the longer and 1 on the shorter, and then we're going to do just like we did at the start. We're going to thread 2 crimp beads on, both going over both threads. That's 1, 2, and then both slide down. So it creates a similar section to what we had at the start. You're going to thread one of these strands through this other jump ring. It's up to you which one. In this one I'm going to choose a short length because there's a reasonable amount of it. If you've only got a little bit of wire left at the end, choose your longer length. So one of the strands goes through the other jump ring. And then back down through these 2 crimp beads in the opposite direction. So if you see, we've got that strand coming up, and then the other side is going to go back down like that. I'll pull those crimp beads as close to those last beads added as possible, and then you're going to pull this strand here tight to make that loop small. You want the loop similar size to the one you did at the start. So you are pulling the loop to a similar size to the other end, so it's enough so that your jump ring's got a bit of movement. So it's small enough so it looks in line with the rest of the fastener set, but big enough that your jump ring moves about. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to squash these 2 crimp beads as we did before. Okay, so that is your crimp beads now squashed in place with your flat nose pliers, and we're going to snip off this excess wire using your mini side cutters. So you want your smooth end facing your work, and then just snip, and same with the other end. Be mindful not to catch the wires of your work or the clasp set, so that's how I've got them, and then I just do them a squeeze. So that is the bracelet in the original colour, and this is the new one there. So that's a slightly bigger bead on this side, like a 5mm, and this is a 4mm there. So the bigger the bead, the chunkier the bracelet will be, and the less bead you actually need. The smaller the bead, the more dainty it'll be, but you'll need a few more beads. So there's around about 100 beads on this piece here.